All right. It is 6 o'clock, and I'm going to give 1 second. Hi, it is 6 o'clock on January 26, 2026, and I am calling this meeting of the Commission on Culture and the Arts to order. And so let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance, as it were. It's a little worse every time. And now we'll move on to the roll call.
Chair Wise.
Here.
Vice Chair Vidor.
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Thorson.
Here.
Commissioner Schaefer.
Here.
Commissioner Colonia.
Here.
We have a quorum. We have a quorum of 7. Congratulations, we have a full commission.
Fantastic. And we have a new officer today. It just fully struck me that that Trevor is not there right now. It hadn't really occurred to me. So it is time for the oath of office for our new commissioner.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Forgot.
All right, so we're going to start with Mr. Colonia first, and then we'll go back to Ms. Schaefer for a reappointment. So you're going to repeat after me. Lift your right hand, please. I state your name.
Justin Colonia,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Pause, please. And then, just one last thing for you. Sign that, and then I'll sign it afterwards. You just leave it for me on the side. All right. Commissioner Schaefer, welcome back. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Monique Schaefer.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations again, Commissioner Schaefer. You can sign this document on him, and please be seated.
I just want to congratulate and welcome our new commissioner and our reappointed commissioner. It's a pleasure
Yeah.
to have you.
And at this time, we'd like for our new commissioner to tell the commission a little bit about himself, just a couple of minutes, and then the commission will introduce themselves to you.
Hi, everyone. As you know, my name is Justin Colonia. Where can I start? I was born and raised in Vallejo. I don't want to go that far, but essentially my passion for Vallejo is through my experience, and that's what I've based a lot of my career, a lot of my decisions, and a lot of my future endeavors is based on making sure that my experience in Vallejo is passed down onto future generations. That being said, I helped organize Vallejo Pizza Sanayon. I collaborated with San Francisco Bay Ferry to host a DJ night representing a lot of Vallejo talent, as well as some San Francisco talent. I work for Visit Vallejo, so I partner a lot with a lot of the hotels, a lot of the restaurants and small businesses out here, and I'm just really honored to be a part of this commission. I think it really speaks to what Vallejo is really, how can I say, like, very unique. You know, there's nothing like Vallejo. A lot of people say this all the time, you know, melting pot, diversity. But I think just, you know, us on this board, you can really see and really feel that people care about culture, community, and each other. And it's, you know, we wouldn't be here when it's dark outside if we weren't. So I'm really honored to be a part of this board, and I'm excited to really continue to make good decisions, good change, and really tell future folks who want to be on this board to take that step and really encourage more civic duty, because there's nothing like it. You know, just meeting other folks that really want to make a difference. I know Dahlia very well, I know Andrea very well, and I'm excited to meet you all and collaborate however we can and make Vallejo be known for positivity, for change, for everything. Well, thank you.
And now, starting with the chair, if you want to introduce yourself, tell Commissioner Colonia just a minute or two about yourself so he'll get to know you tonight and future meetings.
Great. Hi, welcome. As I said, I'm the chair. My name is Daniel Weiss. I work in publishing and also have a long history in both music and literary communities. And we're trying to do some cool stuff here, and glad to have your voice be among them.
Hi, Justin. You know me, I'm Dahlia Vidor. A little bit about me is I do work for the city here in the planning department. And for 12 years, I did work for Visit Vallejo, the Vallejo Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I also, as you know, produce Vallejo Shakespeare in the Park for the city. And I'm just really, really glad to see you on this board, so welcome.
Hi, I'm Chris Thorson. I've got a background in arts education and fine arts as an artist, and I am currently pursuing graduate study in counseling to to integrate expressive arts therapy into a career change as a therapist. So I'm really interested in how visual art can be a primary prevention tool and also, really effective intervention to keep us all healthy and also being able to express ourselves in all these ways that are important for us. Good to meet you.
Hi, my name is Monique Schaefer. I've only been on this commission since September. And I guess I was replacing somebody. I didn't even know that when I started that I was replacing somebody, but and so that's why I had to go through that process. My background is in technology, arts. I've been involved in art since I was a kid. I come from a family of artists, painters, and whatnot. But I got into electronics and then IT and web development, and so I've been really, really involved in digital, and I really wanted to bring technology into the arts mix here in Vallejo. But I'm glad you're here.
I'm Andrea Hernandez. I've been on the board since 2019, since pre-COVID. My background is service and hospitality, but I had to pivot, and now I do dialysis. I do as much community work as I can. I help with the Piso Sanayon, and any other campaigning or things that I can do. I kind of get in where I fit in. Whatever pops up in front of me, I end up becoming big parts of, because I'm really committed to this city and to the people that are committed to that as well. So yeah, that's me.
I'm Margaret Miller. I'm a San Francisco native, born and raised, but I've been in Vallejo for the past 10 years. This is home. It's where I'm raising my sons. I like to focus more on getting the youth involved. I have a history of, my family has a lot of musical stuff and dancing, so that's the aspect I bring here, just trying to more get the youth, stay out of trouble, and get more into exploring their arts and their talents. And I'm excited to work with you here on the commission.
Yes, I think Commissioner Colonia would be a great addition to the commission, his expertise, and it's a different dimension with age-wise as well, helping to bring in his contemporaries to focus on arts. So welcome, and it's a pleasure to work with you in this capacity as well.
Fantastic. Great. Well, now we will move on to the City Council Liaison Report. Is Council? Oh,
Just in case you guys haven't had enough of me in the first 14 minutes. So Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope you've had a good start to the year, given the circumstances, both abroad and domestically. On the council side of the house, we've only met once this month. We received an update on the Broadway project. It's fully leased up at this point, so we did move forward in bringing online all of the permanent supportive housing projects that were offline when we took office a year ago. We similarly issued a communication to the entire city around the supplemental law assistance that the sheriff's office is going to be providing in the south and southeast portion of the city, which is then going to free up police to be able to patrol other parts of the city. And as we move ahead into 26, this is a big year for the city now that we've made some public safety investments to really drill in around economic development. What does it mean to revitalize our downtown core, our marina, Sonoma Boulevard, Tennessee Street, Springs Road, the fairgrounds, you name it. We want ideas. We want you to be a part of the solution. And to that end, I just want to piggyback off of what was shared at the start by Commissioner Colonia. I served on commissions over an 8-year period before I was sworn into office, and it was through that experience that I was able to make lifelong friendships that I cherish to this day, and that I was able to see how each one of us was a piece of the puzzle, not just in terms of the service we were providing, but also in terms of moving things forward for our city. So I encourage you, offline without any Brown Act violations, to just sit down for coffee, really get to learn more about one another and figure out how you guys can move your work together, whether that's serving in community or in this work plan that you guys are developing as a commission. And so to that end, I also want to bring to your attention something that is fast approaching, and that is the special meeting in early March. It was a request I made, and I got support from the council on to have our commissions present on their work plan and also on possible budgetary asks. We're not going to be making any decisions that evening, but what we want to do is give each of the commissions an opportunity to really outline at a high level what it is that you're focused on for the year and what are some things that perhaps should be on the radar of the entire Vallejo City Council. So would love for you guys to be a part of that conversation in early March. It's something new that we're doing to make sure that there's more integration between the commissions and the council. I don't believe the council has all the answers to all the things. You guys are a part of that. All of the commissions are a part of that. And so that meeting date is an opportunity for that, and it will just be for that discussion. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but know that I'm really excited for the year ahead, and I'm just really excited about the just collection of talent that we have from our own community in each of the commissions. It's frankly an amazing thing to just see unfold as you're doing the interviews and you make the appointments, and I'm really excited about what each one of you is going to be able to do for the city this year, genuinely. So thank you, and I'm open for any questions or feedback.
Can I ask what the actual date is of that meeting? Is there a firm, concrete date?
I will, when we get to work plan, goal-setting work plan, I have more information regarding that.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Yes, Vice Chair.
Are we going to be able to bring the loan and gift policy to the City Council? Should we bring that up at this March meeting?
So I know the chair will offer an update on all those items this evening, I hope. What I will generally say is that whether it's that or anything else for any of the commissions, I do think that it's important for any of the commissions that serve to be able to voice their thoughts and opinions. I do think there needs to be some level of coordination, in a public meeting. But I just want there to be dialogue between commissions and the council. So I'll just leave it there, and I'm sure the chair will share more out later in the meeting around that item in particular.
I do believe when we get to item C today, one of our core agenda items for today is to hopefully ask the City Council more formally to look at these policies. So,
thanks, team.
Thank you. Next up, we have the Commission Secretary report.
Yes, good evening. With great pleasure, I'd like to introduce our new interim Economic Development Director, Brad Paul. He started with us last week. He has a strong interest in arts and culture. I'll let him give a brief background and introduce himself.
Thank you. I'm really delighted to be here. I've had a very long career in the Bay Area. I started off mostly in San Francisco. When I moved to San Francisco in the late 70s, I moved into a place called the Goodman Building behind Tommy's Joint. It was considered the Chelsea Hotel of San Francisco. Redevelopment had taken all the artists they displaced from the Haight and the Fillmore and moved them into this building. They were going to tear it down to build a 30-story office building. I saw this on TV. They were on rent strike, and I went there, and I was out of work. I said, I'll trade you 3 months of free rent to get this building on the National Register, because if it's on the National Register, they can't use federal funds, which is all redevelopment, and had to tear it down. They said, you got a deal. The building's still there. And it was the beginning of my real interest in understanding of the role artists play and arts and culture plays in any healthy city. And I consider arts and culture as much a part of economic development as public safety. If you don't have those things that bring people downtown to support the restaurants, the bookstores, you're not going to have a thriving downtown. So when Annette told me that this commission is under the Economic Development Division, I was thrilled. My wife is a filmmaker. She's not getting much work these days. I think AI is taking some of her jobs, but I get to see the world through her eyes as well. I've been here now just a little over 2 weeks. And I'm already falling in love with Vallejo. I've been here before. I took my son to the Brick Mania store when he was little. We went to Mare Island to look at the ships and go to the museum. But I go out for lunch every day, and I talk to merchants, and I walk around the downtown. And I just got a tour last Thursday of the Empress the Empress Theater, sorry. And it's an incredible resource, and I think it's going to start being used a lot more. And there's a real opportunity to create an arts and culture district in the downtown that'll really bring more people down here. And so I couldn't be happier to be here. And I realized one of the reasons I'm so drawn to Vallejo is it's very much like my hometown. I grew up in Fall River, Massachusetts. And Fall River, like Vallejo, had an industry. It was the cotton textile capital of North America from the 1870s to right after World War II. And after that, all the mills started to move, the mill owners moved the mills and jobs down south for cheap non-union labor, cheap power, and cheap one-story buildings. And the city went into a real decline. But it's coming back, and it's on a river that flows into a bay, just like Vallejo. There's a big interest now in arts and culture there. There's a place called the Narrow Center for the Arts. If you look it up, it's a great venue for hearing live music, for galleries. There's restaurants nearby. And there's also an interest in underwater technology. So they're building underwater drones to map the bottom of the ocean in Fall River now and testing them, just like we're talking about doing here in Vallejo. So I couldn't be happier to come to this meeting tonight and be part of this. And I'll be sticking around, so I'll be happy to answer any of your questions after.
Thank you so much. I just want to say it feels really wonderful to hear. I feel like a lot of things that we have discussed in the past being echoed by someone in your position as a official representative of Vallejo, because I don't think we could agree more about the arts as an economic development driver.
And I have more remarks on agenda items, so I will bring those up at that time.
Fantastic. Great. Next item is presentations and commendations, of which we have none. So we move on to the community forum.
Thank you, Chair. I went ahead and started a 2-minute timer, which is located on the top left corner of your screen for interested parties to sign up for the community forum. You can do so either by raising your hand on Zoom or signing up at the terminals in the back of the council chambers. In the meantime, we currently do not have any members of the public signed up for this item. Feel free to carry on with the agenda, and at the conclusion of the timer, if anybody signs up, I'll be sure to let you know.
Thank you. Then let's move on to consent calendar and approval of agenda. First, the approval of agenda.
I motion to approve.
I second.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Vidor and second by Commissioner Hernandez to approve the January 26, 2026 agenda roll call. Chair Wise,
Yes.
Vice Chair Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer, Commissioner Colonia.
Yes.
It passes 7-0. Thank you.
And now we move on to the approval of minutes, which which I will motion to approve.
I second.
It has been moved by Chair Wise and seconded by Commissioner Thorson to approve the minutes of the November 24th, 2025 minutes. Roll call. Chair Wise,
Yes.
Vice Chair Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
and Commissioner Colonna, you weren't here, so you want to abstain?
Abstain, yes.
Okay. So, thank you. So it was 6-0 with 1 abstention. Thank you.
Excellent. Then let's move on to the action calendar. Item A, the placement of the Onagawara, which I know we discussed a few meetings back. Is there someone to give a presentation on that or a follow-up?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Eric Zomp, and I'm Staff Secretary to the Sister City Commission and Executive Assistant to Mayor Andrea Source. Today, we are going to continue the matter of the placement of the Onagawara. If you may recall, in July of 2025, this item came before you for a decision as to whether to locate this item inside of one of the city buildings or outside in the Japanese garden. At that point, you had decided that the best place for the Onagawara was, as recommended, was outside. And today, after some additional work, the option that was discussed in 2025, we carried that a little further, and the Onagawara, the recommendation today is to be placed on a plinth or a pedestal so that the face of the Onagawara would be at eye level of a viewer. And the Onagawara, if you may recall, is a type of gargoyle, and it's typically placed on the roof of a Japanese structure so that the gargoyle can guard your home or your garden or whatever. So artist Jean Cherie, who was also at the meeting in July, she provided a rendering of the finished Onagawara on a pedestal, and that is something that is in your packet. And the pedestal was envisioned as 48 inches wide, 10 inches deep, and 24 inches high. The materials of construction, as specified by Public Works, would be concrete and rebar. This item came before the Sister City Commission in December, and they accepted the recommendation from the artist and voted to move this forward to the Commission on Culture and the Arts. And the full restoration of the entire Japanese garden, besides the installation of the Onagawara on the pedestal, are plants that are consistent with the original design, and to the best of the abilities of Rick Wyrick of the Beautification Commission and various members of the Sister City organization, that the plants would be Yoshino cherry trees, lace leaf Japanese maple, weeping Japanese cherry tree, dwarf azaleas, and Japanese anemones. And if you look in your packet, I took the liberty this time of blowing up the segment of the drawing so you can actually see where these items would go. And there's a section there where you can see proposed art piece location in the Japanese garden, and this is outside of the Vallejo room entrance. And at this point, that is all I have. The drawing is, like I said, in your packet. The plan is in your packet, and the updated staff report.
Thank you. Staff Taylor, did you have something to add?
I believe we have Pelton Stewart on as a call-in.
Oh, just as an intro, Pelton Stewart is a member of the Sister City Commission, and the Sister City Commission approved his presence here to speak on behalf of the commission.
Hi, Pelton. Can you confirm this is you?
This is Belton.
Okay, perfect. I have you as iPhone right now. I just wanted to make sure. Go ahead.
First, I want to thank you for your support. It's been quite a journey, and it's certainly a learning experience for the Vallejo Sister City Commission and Association. But I want to commend you for participating and assisting us in moving this project to where we are. We're nearing the end, and we're very excited about the concept of reopening it. And we will cover some of the, actually all of the remainder of the expenses related to getting this job done through the Sister City Commission. Asked the association adjusted its budget to cover those costs, at least all those that we know to this point. And I think this is an example of some volunteers with Vallejo Sister City that refuse to give up on our relationship with our sister city in Japan that I got a chance to visit a couple years ago. And I encourage all of you commissioners to consider, as we move forward, to participate in more of our activities throughout the year. We host delegations from all of our sister cities, and we visit on a regular basis them. And we're happy to say that the clock that the Japanese gave us, that the association and commission replaced recently, will be introduced also when we unveil the garden. So thank you again for your assistance, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. And thanks for presenting this. If anyone has any comments they'd like to add, this seems fairly straightforward and like a repeat of what we heard before. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask? Vice Chair Vidor?
Thank you so much for all of this. I'm really excited to see the Onigawara being reinstalled. I do have a question about the installation. Is this a CIP, or is this the city that's going to be doing it themselves?
A CIP as in a...
Where you get a bid from an outside company that...
No, this city of Vallejo is going to, Public Works is going to do the project.
Public Works.
And I can tell you that the initial estimates by Public Works, labor and equipment is projected at about $1,200, and then materials are about $500, and that would be for the concrete and the rebar. So it's $17.11 and 2 cents. It would probably cost us as much to put it out to bid as it would to do the work.
That's great. The plants, where are the plants going to come from? Do you know where they're going to source the plants from?
Actually, Rick Wyrick of the Beautification Commission is in charge of the plants, and he can speak more to that. Sorry, Rick.
We'll be getting the plants through a basic wholesaler up in, what's that little town? Up in Sonoma County, I can't remember that little town. It's right on 101. It's where the cows go, and you know that one. There's a lot of wholesale nurseries up there, and I'm working with a certified arborist, and we worked with the Sister City Council to basically replace what was already there. Unfortunately, the backstory on that, there was a lot of irrigation problems, systems, and also, you know, it was a camping place. So a lot of the water caused some of the problems, but also some of the homeless caused some of the problem also. So we've got the water situation rectified, and we're going to basically replace everything except for Public Works. Unfortunately, had to tear down the 45-foot pine tree because it was on its way down onto the library. So we're replacing that with the Yoshino cherry trees. And we're also at the top of the stairs, or the bottom of the top of the stairs, the side to the library. If you're familiar, there's an empty 12 by 12 foot box there. So we decided that it would, in Pelton, the sister city liked the idea of that being kind of a merge to the downstairs Japanese garden. So what that's going to contain is a single Yoshino cherry in the center, with edged with dwarf azaleas, and then the Japanese anemones in between the two. So we think that'll be a nice link to the bottom, and then we'll replace the other the pine tree. We'll put a Yoshino cherry there, and we're also replacing, if you're coming in on the side, you know, the left-hand side, that is also part of the Japanese garden. So there was some dead shrubs and stuff, so we'll put one more Yoshino cherry there, and then we feel like we're trying to keep it as Japanese as possible, keep it spare, keep it simple, but we will replace the ones that had died. Any other questions?
Thank you. That was great.
Sure.
Thank you. If there's no other questions, I would love to motion to approve the Sister City Commission's plan. This seems beautiful and in the spirit of what has been discussed. Yeah.
I second. Can I do that?
Okay, it was moved by Chairman Wise, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer, that the commission recommends an elevated design for the refurbished Anagawara outside the Japanese garden. Roll call. Chair Wise.
Yes.
Vice Chair Vidor.
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson.
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Colonia.
Yes.
It passes 7-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say I went to the Vallejo room the other day for the meeting on discussing trees by the waterfront. I attended and I noticed the work that had been done in there. That it had started a little bit. But I was like, oh, I'd kind of forgotten about this, and I had just walked by it the other day and was very happy to see some movement. With that, we will move on to item B, our goal-setting work plan, which we've been working on. Recommendation here is to review and provide comments on the revised draft work plan. I'm going to pass this over to Vice Chair Vidor or Commissioner Schaefer, if one of you would like to introduce this one.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes.
This is where I want to
Please.
add some information. We had a secretary staff meeting, board and commission secretary staff meeting today regarding work plan and the presentation to the council in March. It's going to be the first meeting in March at 6:00 p.m. What is required is a completed work plan, a completed budget, and a completed staff report. The staff report has to be completed by the end of this month. So if at all possible, if this commission will approve the work plan today, that would be great. If it does not get approved today, then I perhaps can do a draft work plan stating to the council that it will be completed, but we definitely need the budget in order to go into the 26-27 budget cycle. So hopefully this evening, after your review, if you have any questions or comments, they can be resolved in this meeting tonight and move this forward. Thank you.
I just want to, I don't know if you all had a chance to review, I hope you have, but I just want to talk a little bit about the work in general, and that it gave me the opportunity to really understand what's going on here and what's going on in California as far as culture and arts. So it was it was really helped me to really understand what we can do on this commission. I learned a lot. So I just want to say that. Is it going now? Oh, okay, because I was holding the button, so that was kind of weird. The alignment with the state of California and what they're doing with culture and arts, it seems to be a major push, and we put that into this, especially around the event. What is it, Arts Day? Well, I forget what it's called, but there's an Arts Day, and we put it in the plan. But I also, it's so interesting what you said about health and art, because one of the things that and I want to also say that you all should go to, what is it, the California Arts Council, and then the other one is an advocacy group, the California, I forget the name of it, it's in here. But look at their site, because there's a lot of stuff going on as far as the arts. They put art back into the schools now. There's a law that passed there, so there's a lot of stuff going on. And what you mentioned about the arts and health, that's one of the things they're pushing for too. They're calling it neuro arts. And so I just had a vision that Vallejo could be at the center of this. We have Turo, if we partner with them and really get into that, we could make Vallejo the center of neuro arts. And so I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. So this is a pretty robust plan that we have put together. There were a couple things. Now, I sent it to Annette. There was one change that I didn't see in here, and that was I think that we can just get that one little change done, which is the giant list here on page 16 or 31 of your full packet. And that is a list of creative economy business types. And I think that you changed it to a link instead of that giant list. And so that's one of the little changes.
Yeah, I think sorry. I think I sent you through the chair. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Through the chair. I think I sent you the most current after, and I apologize that we didn't get that to you. But you had the most current, and we can send that out to everybody. I sent it to you after Dahlia had given that to you.
Through the chair, I have not received it, and maybe that's when our system went down, because I have not received anything from you at all. Okay. And so that's why I went to Vice Chair Vidor and asked her, because we had to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Through the chair. So there are just a couple of that little adjustment that needs to happen. And the one other addition that I had looked at and I thought we should add to our budget, which is on
page 27.
Page 27.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? No. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. So we put in there a California Arts and Culture Summit for everybody to attend, which is up in Sacramento. I think we needed a date on that, and that is April 20th. And if we could just add that, that would be wonderful. Through the chair, this covers our goals, which is to support and promote and build upon Vallejo's place as a center for the arts. We also are promoting arts, and we have put in here a $200,000 ask for our granting program, which we have done previously in previous years. So I think it was 2016 and 2017 is when we had our first two rounds of those grants, and they were very successful. And we've asked for double the amount of money so we can split it between the arts groups and arts organizations and cultural institutions as well, so that each of them can get $100,000. Well, not technically $100,000. There's also a fee that goes along with the administrator, and so it would be that amount minus what their fee is. We need to negotiate with the advocacy group to see what their fee might be. In the past, it's been 10%. We don't know if that would be covered for both of the grants cycles, or if that would be a single grant cycle, and then so it would be 10% out of each one of those. That's the thing that we need to negotiate with the administrator.
One other thing I'd like to add as a note that just occurred to me. I feel like in the process of developing this, I feel like we had this a couple times. Is that it is currently January of 2026, and we have to approve this work plan. And so I would like to propose, and I think this is something we could still approve this work plan tonight with the note of the couple additions. Is that possible?
Tonight, what your mission is to review the work plan, make comments, and if possible, finalize it and make a recommendation to the city council. And I think you may want to add that previously you added the Measure P project in here for $134,500. That wasn't in the previous draft.
Yes, we made sure to integrate the Project P proposal into our work plan, rather than treat them as two totally independent things with the work that Commissioner Thorson has done on that in particular. So my proposal as a note here would be to move our timeline down so that what is currently in January moves to February, what is in February moves to March, and then I think we can just add the February one to March. We don't have to keep pushing it all down because there are some time-sensitive things, but if we could just make that move of everything in January down to next month and the February plan into March.
Through the chair, the Measure P on the budget, did you say it didn't exist or in your draft?
It was not originally included in the draft work plan. It was a separate project.
Okay, so are you saying it should be there or not?
It is there.
It is there, okay.
It's included. And as you're looking at your work plan, if there's any item that requires funding, that will not be approved until the fiscal year 26-27 budget is approved. So currently, this commission doesn't have any funding for anything. So if you can, and then the council will, in March, review the work plan. I'm not certain if they're approving all of the work plans at the March meeting or not, but just keep that in mind as you look at your timeline, what you're proposing. As you say, begin brochure planning, you can plan it, but if you don't get the funding for it, there's no funding for it. So just keep that in mind.
With that note, I do think we should, we did try to keep that in mind in looking at this. That's why, in March, we want to finalize our official ask, and so you're trying to think about that and not do anything that requires us to have money ahead of time, while also not being caught totally unprepared if money does come. But I do think probably our Measure P thing, maybe we want to push that timeline down a bit as well, because the item at the end of March does sort of require it already being approved. So I might suggest thinking about timeline, and when we're likely to talk to Measure P, maybe we move that timeline down to starting in May with a plan of, do we know when we can officially address the Measure P board? Commission?
Again, that has to be approved. It's a process. It has to be a recommendation by the council, but if you put the funding here and it gets approved, they'll make the perhaps make the recommendation in March, perhaps, or if we have to if the boards and commissions have to come back for another council meeting, because again, this is all new to all of us, then it could be decided at that time.
Thank you.
Through the chair, I have a couple questions about the advocate for the proclamation in April. Can we start with the advocacy right now, even though, I mean, that's not part of the budget, but if we could set forth some sort of letter or advocacy to encourage the council to move forward with that before we even set this in as just a preliminary process. And then what I'm seeing is that so you're suggesting the Measure P asphalt art project move down to May, and maybe the begin brochure planning should move down to May as well?
Yeah. How about, let's move those both to May.
That was the brochure planning, which is in February.
And what else are we moving in May?
Measure P asphalt art project, which is in March, moving that down to May.
Through the chair, and the website app project planning, the whole idea was, and I can't remember, is that we were going to work out a budget for the next fiscal year. Is that, okay, I just want to make sure, because we didn't put anything in the budget, so I want to make sure. Okay.
If I may, through the chair, if you want to advocate April as Art and Culture Creativity Month, we can put that on the futures list. And then that can come before you in February, on a futures list in February. It'll be on futures list in February, and we'll say that as part of your work plan. And the other items that you want to move to May, because, well, hopefully by May, it's included in your work plan, and then you don't have to add it to an agenda. But because you won't have approval of your work plan prior to you want to advocate for the proclamation, I think the best way is to put that on the futures list so you can vote on it at that time.
Through the chair, what's the futures list?
Well, it's on your agenda, and you add items to that to be discussed by the commission at future meetings.
Oh, the future agenda, yeah. Okay, okay, got it. Okay.
Through the chair, following up on the Measure P moving to May, because I believe that the proposal has it starting in summer 2026, I wonder if we should bump that to summer 2027 and delay that timeline?
Yes, I thought that we already had planned on it not starting until 2027. That was my understanding, because we would need, with the expectation, we'd need at least a year to. Yeah.
Great, okay.
But we should make sure that is true, because I agree, yeah.
Through the chair, it's actually on there, right? Oh, well, planning through December 2027. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. But I think, is there anything else, any other notes? Does anyone want to add anything to it? Is there anything I feel like these are sort of fairly minimal. There's the timeline adjustment that we'd like to make, and making sure that the link is there as well in the final plan. But I think.
And then adding the date.
And adding a date to the budget request, which is April 20th, will be the Arts and Culture Summit.
Pardon me, what was the date we're changing? What is that? You said the adding the April date
Oh, here on the
That's
the
that's
budget
for the
ask,
That's for the summit.
for the summit.
page 27. Next page.
Yeah, through, okay, again, realizing that the council's meeting in March, and you may not have funding, in fact, you won't have funding this fiscal year by April, because it doesn't go to council, the budget doesn't go to council until April, May, for fiscal year starting in June 1st. So you won't have funding allocated for April.
Should we push that until 2027 for the 2027 summit?
I think we should, yes.
I think any projects that you have funding for prior to June 1st, July 1st, 2026, you won't have funding for.
Yeah.
But that's not really a project, through the chair. That's not really a project, is that the summit? It's just,
It's
we
budget.
treat it,
You
it's
just-
just budget.
You just, the budget.
Yeah. I would say if anyone would like, certainly financially commissioners who would like to attend should still attend, but just the city has not given us money for it, so we can't expect them to give us money. I think it is still, if anyone who has the means to do it, it would still be a worthwhile use of your time. But I think it's a good point. We have not asked the city for money for it yet, so we can't ask for money for it yet. But definitely let's move that on to 2027 as an official budget ask. We are asking to attend that next year so that we will have the money to go. And I don't think there's any other budget asks in here. There's the begin brochure planning beginning in May, but that was sort of explicitly written to begin before we have any money, just so that we have that process started, so that if we get the approval, we can then do the parts that require finances. But
Through the chair, there's no special fund that this commission could do an ask for
Currently-
that kind of, what is it? Education for the commissioners?
Currently, there is none, and that's why, 2 years ago, the council agreed to have a work plan and a budget for the commissions, because prior to that, there was nothing. I think when Commissioner Vidor and I and former Commissioner Sawandi went, it came out of economic development budget, but it was paid for basically gas, and I think the enrollment was minimal, if anything at all. And so it's a disappointment, but that's why we're starting it now, to allow commissioners to partake in training and things of that nature. So again, after this evening, please review as a commission your draft. If there's any additions that need to be made, please speak on those now. And please check your budget to make sure this is the amount and the timeline, so that can be forwarded to me. The final draft can be forwarded to me, then I can start working on the staff report.
I think through the chair, I think just with those edits that we've just talked about, I think that we are completed. Can we take a vote on this?
Sure, you can, the motion would be to approve make a recommendations to approve the draft work plan with the approved edits, and to the work plan and to the budget, I believe. But I think you made them perhaps both to the budget and edits to the work plan.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve the the
work
Arts and
plan.
Cultural Work Plan with the edits that we have discussed in this meeting, including moving items within the calendar to fit more with a timeline that will be amenable to the city, and to approve the budget with this same adjustments,
And recommend it be forwarded to council.
and recommend it go before council.
I second.
It has been moved by Vice Chair Vidor, seconded by Commissioner Hernandez to recommend that the draft work plan and edits be forwarded to the city council for approval for their March, I think it's March 7th meeting, 2026. Roll call. Chairman Wise.
Yes.
Vice Chair Vidor.
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Yes?
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson.
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Colonia.
Yes.
It's moved 7-0. So thank you for that. It's taken the commission a while to get to this point, but all the hard work paid off. And the ad hoc commission one of you will provide me the edits by next week, please, by Monday next week. One of you,
Yes.
please.
Yeah, I'll take that on now.
I don't get your emails for some reason. So between the three of you, so please.
I'll see her so she can make sure.
I will make sure that you get it.
Thank you.
Through the chair, thank you so much to the ad hoc committee for putting this together. It's been a long time coming. It's been such a long process, but you have it put together so well. It's well thought, and thank you for doing that.
Excellent. Great. With that, we've approved that. Great news. We're going to move on to item C, Commission Draft Policy Memos, which I will introduce unless there's an additional note. So, a item, I think I discussed this a bit at our last meeting, but I just want to give a little bit of context here. A long-term frustration with our commission, and I suspect with all commissions, has been a tendency to pass things and then not know, and just sort of pass them into a void and have nothing actually happen. I had a wonderful meeting with Staff Taylor and Alexander Mateus and City Attorney Nebb in November, I suppose it was. I don't know where time has gone, but to discuss this. And what has become clear is that there is a logjam that happens where the city council is waiting for the city attorney's office to give them a report on feasibility, and the city attorney's office is waiting for the city council to ask them to make that report. And they are not talking to each other, and they just hit this thing, and they're like, we have so many things, we're not going to spend our time doing feasibility studies on things that we have not been asked to give. And city council is, we're not going to vote on it because no one has done a feasibility study on this yet. And so for our commission, and I would love if this perhaps became a model for all commissions, has developed an official protocol where when we pass something as a commission, the chair and whoever that might be at the time will be responsible for drafting some one-page, very concise summaries of the bill. Do not have to go into detail on them, that just ask the city council, would you like the city's attorney's office to do a feasibility study on this? At which point they will then ask it and the gears will move. And so we had three pieces, similar pieces that had gone unmoved for quite some time. Those were the public art gift and loan policy memos, which had been there for quite some time, as well as our long-term funding for the arts policy that we passed just 6 months ago now, perhaps. And so, with Vice Chair Vidor's help, I drafted a very quick summary, which you can see here, of our long-term funding that addressed issues. Vice Chair Vidor drafted a one-pager on the gift and loan policy memos. And what we are asking for the commission now is to approve the sending of them to city council, so they will be delivered, and then city council, with Councilman Mateus's sort of shepherding, will make sure that a feasibility study actually happens and there can be some true movement on it.
Correct, and I believe this will also go in March because this overall board and commission meeting, and so that's when it would go before the city council.
So yes, so if there are any questions, please ask them, or Commissioner Thorson.
May I make a motion to pass said memos by Chair Wise and Chair Vador?
You sure can.
Okay. I do that.
Great.
I second the motion.
Great.
It has been moved by Commissioner Thorson and seconded by Commissioner Schaefer to forward the enclosed memos on the 3 draft policies, being the long-term funding for the arts, the loan and gift policy, to the city council so they can make a recommendation or review to the city attorney's office for a feasibility study. Roll call, Chair Wise.
Yes.
Vice Chair Vidor.
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson.
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Colonia.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Fantastic. Real progress. Great. With that, we will move on to future agenda items. As we just discussed, do we need to formally introduce what we discussed as future agenda items, or did they get introduced?
Yes, let's put it on the agenda for that one in particular.
Which was advocate to proclaim April as Art, Culture, and Creativity Month.
Yes.
Would like to add that to future agenda, as well as begin budget planning for fiscal year budget request.
Sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
The other item that we had on for January that feels like would be particularly good to get onto future agenda items now ahead of time is to begin budget planning for our fiscal year budget request.
Was it the budget request that's in your work plan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you had another budget request.
Through the chair, could we ask for more money?
No. Just let's pass all sorts of budgets. Right. And yeah, I wonder, should we bring back on just an update on the Measure P plan? Would it be good to put that back in future agenda so we can make sure that we are presenting that soon? Or is that not necessary?
I think at this time, it's been included in your work plan, is my understanding. It's in the work plan. And once it's presented to the council in March, if it's a yes, then that's when you start taking action and planning. Because right now, it's a plan, and you don't know if it's going forward or not, or if it goes forward, what recommendations the council may make. So let's wait till after March and see what they say. That is my recommendation.
Thank you. That makes sense to me. Commissioner Schaefer.
So we have our ad hoc committee. Through the chair.
Your microphone, please.
Am I not pushing this thing right?
You're leaving it on.
Sometimes
I'm turning it off.
through the chair.
What's going on here?
So one thing I just wanted to let you all know is that it's very important to turn off the microphone when you're done speaking. The system only allows for 4 microphones on at a time, and when one person...
I did it.
Thank you. Yeah, when one person turns on their mic, it might interrupt the other person speaking, so just FYI.
As an example, that's what I say.
But what I was, through the chair, what I was asking is, so we've got our work plan approved. So the next step is presentation that we need to make before the committee, or is that?
No, the next step would be for staff to make a presentation to the city council in
Okay.
March. We have to do a staff report that includes your work plan and your budget. And at that time, the commissioners will be there to answer questions.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
And with that, we can move on to announcements.
Wait,
Oh,
through the chair.
yes.
There's one other thing on the futures agenda list that I'd like to put, which is now that we have a fully seated commission, if we could go and view the art in storage.
Yes, previous meetings, I said we would do it sometime in the new year. So I will look into that. Which brings me, and thank you, Commissioner Vildor, you reminded me of something. At the last commission meeting, you asked about the bulletin board. And I did check with planning and with public works, and apparently they are putting up a shelter on the waterfront, and they thought that because they're putting that up, perhaps the bulletin board may be a part of that, but they have to wait to see what that looks like. So I didn't want you not to think that I didn't follow through, but after they do the final shelter that they're building, if there's room for the bulletin board on that, if not, then they would have to find another location.
There is at the Pittsburgh BART, they have a digital board, which is similar to what Commissioner Schaefer was talking about. And I don't know if that would be possible to put it on that, or if they're talking about a static one.
I believe the recommendation, I believe, originally from this commission was to basically relocate one of the ones that we already had. So if you're talking about electronics, and that's a cost that had not been included in the previous ask.
Thank you. I think for right now, the static one is good, and that we can work towards a budget towards getting a big digital one, and I have images of that one, so we can talk about that at another time.
Through the chair, one other thing, and I think I shared this with you, Annette. I know the Waterfront Commission is talking about doing all this refurbishing and whatnot, and it seems like it might be an opportunity to put some of that art that's in storage there, and so if we can be in communication with them in some way, I just wanted to put that out there.
Right. I did forward your email in the announcement to the commission for that. Once we look at the art and storage, whether it be placed, where it's placed will be a recommendation, can be a recommendation from this commission. However, depending on what that plan is, because right now they're really talking about plantings and not necessarily structures. Mm-hmm. They're talking about landscaping, things of that nature. So that's, I think, at a future time. They're looking also the downtown and waterfront specific plan, and that would be an opportunity at that time when they talk about the waterfront for placing structures or things of that nature, sculptures and things.
We did include in our budget the reinstallation costs for Silent Company. So it is in there in the future chance that they decide to reinstall the monoliths.
So I will look at a time, let's say, I will look at a time in April because that'll be after the work plan. Either we know yes or no on it's some indication about the work plan. And I also give Public Works time to find someone to assist us in going through the two buildings.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to announcements now. I would like to start with a quick announcement. I want to offer a congratulations and acknowledgement of there's a new space on Tennessee Street called The Village that just had a sort of a soft open last week, is having a grand open in the next week, which is going to be a really great arts and culture space on Tennessee. It is right next to Personal Space Gallery, who already are quite possibly the biggest, I feel like, driver of people from other areas to become aware of Vallejo's art scene at the moment is the Personal Space Gallery. They've been written up by KQED and NPR and New York Times, I believe, some high-profile places, and that is becoming a really wonderful complex of sort of places for the Vallejo artistic community. And so I just want to put that into the record.
As always, please send me your announcements. Hopefully this year will be a better year than previous years. And if you send me an announcement, it will be in the minutes. Otherwise, I will just briefly mention what you mentioned. But if you provide the details, I don't want to misspell anything, get the wrong address or anything of that nature. So thank you.
Any other announcements?
No announcement, but I would just like to say Happy New Year to everyone. I think we're starting off the year with a full commission, eager, a lot of different ideas, and a lot of good energy. I think that you all have a love for the city and arts and culture. So I'm looking forward to working with you this year and getting some things done. I know that in past years it's been difficult to get things done, to say the least. But I always believe to everything there's a time and a season, and so this is our time and our season to move this commission forward. Hopefully the council will approve, if not all of your work plans, some of your work plans, and some of the budget to give you funding to work on arts and culture. As Vice Chair Vidor know, California Arts Commission, Culture and Arts Commission did visit the city of Vallejo. We were one of 10 finalists. We didn't make the final, but so we are on their radar. And so that just proves that with the Solano County Arts Council provided the application. It was a 2 or 3 hour tour that they did, and they were impressed. And again, we didn't make the cut this year as a finalist of the final 10. There were 14 finalists, sub-finalists. Then there were 10 selected. They get $2,000 grant, but most importantly, they got resources, from the state. So we'll apply again next year, and hopefully we'll have more next year to show them. So again, I just want to thank you all for your time. One of the things that the council will be looking at is attendance for all the boards and commissions. So please be mindful of that. There was a study done by, I think it's MRG, an outside consultant. It will be on your February agenda regarding all boards and commissions and their recommendation to either combine commissions, eliminate commissions, things of that nature. This commission, the Cultural and Arts Commission, was not on that list to do anything, so to move forward. So that's an opportunity to prove that they were right and she moved this, not touch this commission. But I will bring that on the February agenda just so you'll all see what the commission did, what the consultant said, as well as there are, I believe it's 5 or 6 questions that you can answer, but because you weren't on that list, you may just say, let's leave well enough alone and move forward. So again, thank you. I look forward to working with you in 2026. Thank you to our new commissioner. I know he has a lot of energy. Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer, for your short term and being thinking we were a good enough commission for you to re-up. So we look forward, and Commissioner Hernandez, Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Thorson, you're fairly new, but the time you've been here, you've added quite a bit, and the anchor, Commissioner Vidor, we just thank you for your guidance and assisting with the other commissioners. And as Councilmember Matias suggested, 1 or 2 you can get together, no more than 3 at a time, to talk about the commission, to have coffee, get to know one another, and things of that nature. And I'm always available. Just let me know, and I will, as I've done with some of you commissioners, schedule time just to meet with you. So with that.
I have one more through the chair, and then I'm done. We did, Dahlia and I attended the Building Creative Economies that was hosted by the California Arts Council. There's 2 organizations, so I get them mixed up. So California Arts Council, and they are doing one virtually. And that's where you can really look at what the strategies are around building these creative economies, but also what they're trying to do, their plan. And so it's online, but if you wanted to attend, you could attend it virtually. So, and the meetings are online as well. So.
Thank you. Great. Well, with that, next meeting is going to be February 23rd, 2026. I will let you know now. I believe that both myself and Commissioner Hernandez are going to have to miss the February meeting for various reasons, as discussed earlier, but I look forward to seeing you in March and not missing other meetings this year. And I would like, it is 7:22, I'd like to motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
No, he didn't know. He did it last time. No, please.
It doesn't stop with 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, I have to take my mom out of
Planning Commission makes it known that the
It's
meeting
her
is still
birthday, as they get older.
Oh, you love them. I love them.